And we are live. This is the wood where you get what raisin?
Uh, wouldn't so good. Oh, I've had a sex change. Oi.
Yeah.
Now I'm Australian. All right.
I,
What?
I completely forgot about raisin being on vacation. I really did. I completely forgot about her being on vacation. So it's
Oh,
just going and Dirt couldn't make it tonight. I didn't invite nobody else, so it's just gonna be me and Red Eye for you guys for an hour there. You got to put up with two old dudes for an hour.
yeah. Basically, this has just become a Grumpy's fucking episode.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to start off talking about, I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, right? Huge.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't know nothing about me, one thing you don't know is that Red, I know, like I'm like a mark for Quentin Tarantino. I'm a big. Well, he said that last film was going to be his last film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was going to be his last movie, and I was like, kind of found out that's not true, which I kind of thought it would be true. However, he's got two movies in progress. One is another Kill Bill movie, which is okay. Kill Bill. But what's caught my interest is he's doing another Django.
Well,
but catch this. Here's the most interesting thing. It's called Django and Zorro. Zorro.
okay.
He's bringing the Zorro character in, and him and Django and Zorro are going to be like trying to rescue some Aboriginal slaves.
That'll get interesting.
Yeah, I was like, Zorro, really? I was like, because he does this shit anyway. Like how like a lot of people got mad when he did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, how he portrayed Bruce Lee, but he takes and that whole movie was based on the Charles Manson stuff. It's like, what if they went to the wrong house? Basically, is what it was, and so now he's taking this Zorro stuff and going to like rearrange the story. It's weird, but I'm sure he's going to do a great job. Interest. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, if it's a good story, that's what people want: is good stories and good.
Well, he's such a unique storyteller.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on him. Like, I understand that artistically he's fucking great. It's just I've never been fussed on his movies. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just you like what you like, and and it's just Reservoir Dogs. I just found deeply disturbing.
I love it
because it was just like so much fucking needless, gratuitous violence and
psychotic. Yeah, most of his movies have that.
Yeah, but I will say that Dusk Till Dawn. I love that movie because I never read the cover or any. My mate got it on DVD, and I've just walked in just as it started, so I had no idea of the plot.
I don't think he directed that one though. He just acted it.
Yeah, but I think he wrote it, didn't he?
I don't know. He may have wrote it. No, he may have wrote it.
I can't. Well, it's one of what I love the twist in it because I didn't know it was a vampire movie, so I'm sitting through it, and it's like another Quentin movie. And it's like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden, the chick goes and turns into a vampire. I'm like, what the fucking fuck? This is brilliant. And then it just took that 90-degree twist and turned into a vampire slasher film, which was fucking great.
That's what I like about him, though, is because he takes risk and he doesn't do like a one. He'll do a couple of types of movies like he did, like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, stuff like that. But then he does Hateful Eight, which is a western.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie, by the way. Phenomenal.
You can tell he grew up watching a whole bunch of fucking films because he basically has taken inspiration from his childhood and expanded on it and made it arguably way, way more cool or just visually. I think part of the benefit Quentin Tarantino had compared to the people that inspired him was what you can get away with putting in a movie now compared to what you could get away with putting on screen in the 1950s and 60s. You couldn't even say heck in a movie back then. And you go and look at Tarantino's movies, fucking cunt and dudes getting ears cut off and all sorts of wild shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So he's had that benefit and he's had that whole generation of classic filmmakers that made films like Ben-Hur. And I mean that original OG Ben-Hur. There's scenes in that. There's no CGI. That ocean of people you see on chariots going, that's people being directed by, that's insanity on film, but they've somehow managed to turn it into all of these scenes. And there's I think that's what's inspired him, and he's got the benefit of being able to not worry about being censored so much compared to his predecessors. So,
I just like great story, and I think he's a great and like Martin Scorsese. That's another one that I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with Martin Scorsese films. Like Martin Scorsese is like, if it wasn't for Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese would be my number one. But Quentin is just, he won my heart. And my favorite Quentin movie is Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, see, that's a shift away from.
Yeah, that's another one that he took. And then he did that last one he did, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is a complete different fucking thing that he's ever done. So he's like really, he's so diverse into his filmmaking, but you know it's a Quentin Tarantino film, even though it may be different than the last one. He still has that Quentin Tarantino touch. Yeah,
it's got certain common denominators with all of the other things.
And another thing he does that I like, that he doesn't use CGI.
Yeah.
He refuses to use CGI in his films. He uses old school special effects.
That's to his detriment, though. What he could do if he.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a group of these directors that have just been old fuddy-duddies, and we don't want to go digital. It's like, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up, old man, and learn the new shit, because your movies will benefit from it, because you'll have that extra layer. You don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it.
And I think he used it. I think he may have used a little bit in Kill Bill. I'm not sure. I think he may have used a little bit. I'm not sure though. But
there was a group of directors and stuff, or filmmakers from, I think it was America, when they decided to get rid of the old school shit and go digital. Yeah. There was a group of them that went, oh, you got a TikToker. Hello, visitor from TikTok.
Oh, hey there, buddy. Well, me too. There they come. Thank you guys for coming in. You're the only ones here. YouTube sucks. But thanks
for stopping by. Welcome to YouTube.
It's my TikTok people right here. It's my people.
Don't worry about me. I'm not allowed anywhere near TikTok.
He's an angry Australian.
Yeah, I'm a cranky old Australian. Just ignore me and never take me too seriously. That's my only tip with me is, if I sound like I'm really angry about something, it's probably because it's not worth getting angry about. But that's what I do.
I love you
I make
too,
a big
James.
deal.
I love you too.
Another tuber.
Yeah.
We got TikTokers. We got tubers. We got any Twitches?
Fluffy dog. No, I don't do Twitch, so we ain't gonna have no Twitchers.
What's the show about on here? It's about just stuff, whatever's we feel like talking about. We might talk about. If there's a big current event, we might lean on that for a while, or we might just talk about random
whatever.
things.
Well, it's always been a random kind of thing. Been doing this show for years, but usually it's more people here. But my other co-hosts, Raisin's on vacation, and then some of the other regulars are just not here. So it's just me and Red tonight, which is this guy.
Yeah.
All right, since keep your hand. Okay. Agent 06 is here. We got Double Agent. We got Agent 006, and we got James Bond.
Damn.
But anyway, right now we was talking about movies and Quentin Tarantino. I went over to his IMDb page and found out there's a couple of new Quentin Tarantino films coming out. So that's pretty cool. Also, what I wanted to talk about is and if you're not a wrestling fan, sorry, but there's a couple of things. Well, we all know the big thing going on in pro wrestling is Vince McMahon. By the way, Vince McMahon may be going to get in some very big legal troubles. We all thought it wasn't legal stuff. He just paid off some women to be quiet because he had sex with them. Well, guess what? It was the company's money that he was using to pay them off.
Oh no, Vinny, no. I've got a similar example from Australia. So we've got this park. It's called Dreamworld. Think of Disneyland, but way lamer and smaller. Mm-hmm. and it's in Australia. It's just up the road from where I live, actually. But apparently this has just been released 50 minutes ago, this article. So they raised $2.7 million in koala research funding. Okay? Guess what they spent the $2.7 million for? Because koalas are now an endangered species thanks to our politicians saying, yeah, just knock down that eucalypt forest. We don't need it. Turns out the koalas do. Who would have thunk it? I know. Amazing. But Dreamworld took the $2.7 million and they built a fucking roller coaster.
Oh, hell.
All right?
That's
Dreamworld had asked to repurpose the money for new rides in as early as 2020, and that request was approved by our government at the time. Holy
somebody's
crap.
in trouble.
No, because the government went, yeah, all right. So what? Because it's now public knowledge, the Premier's come out and damage control and said, Dreamworld should put its own money back into the Future Lab project. The tourism department gave money through grants to places like Dreamworld to expand their public offerings. This is during the COVID thing. So this is where, you know how everybody did it tough and got poorer?
Quit. Now, so he fucking was a green screen. God damn, quit. He fucked it all up.
That's uterus.
Get away from it.
That's uterus. Now, quick story. Why is the dog called uterus? Well, other people call it a different name. I call it uterus because of the way it came into Pimp's life. Apparently, one of Pimp's relatives was driving along the road and there's a car in front of him, and the car threw something out the window and bounced along the road, and it turns out, see the thing messing with the green screen? That was the thing that got thrown out of the car. So that's why the dog's called uterus, because it was yeeted out of a car. Makes sense to me. Give number 1 in the chat if you agree. Number 2 if you don't. And 3 if you don't care. So apparently people like misappropriating funds from organisations to do other things with them that they're not supposed to do, and it's a common thread.
It's and like Vance Paul, everybody for a minute was like, well, what he did was kind of wrong, but not that bad because he just paid off a girl to be glad. And I understood that, but using the company's money, it's bad. It's not good.
Well, the company's not going to be too happy. And how many millions of dollars was he spending over the years to cover up his own?
Well, we know over 12 million.
Oh, that's a lot of disapproval from the other board members. They're going to be going, Vince, I hope Vince has got $12 million in the bank to put that back into the company, because if he doesn't, he may very well be in a spot of bother, because that's, one could argue, that's allegedly fraudulent behavior, defrauding the company for nefarious.
It's kind of like that, yeah. He just messed up.
Not good.
And the other WWE news is, it just came out earlier. Logan Paul has signed a multi-year deal with WWE, which is, hey, whether you like Logan Paul or not, the boy can work. He can wrestle. He's very good at it.
If he's really good at wrestling, and obviously he must have some talent for them to give him a contract.
He's good at it. He's really good at it. He took to it like a fish in water, man.
Yeah, he's got some other issues that he needs to get sorted out first, because he was right smack bang in the middle of a couple of pump and dumps. And here's the other thing. The U.S. District Attorney's Office, they've been at work. Everyone thinks, they haven't been doing it. They're starting to prosecute people for this shit now. So he's under investigation, apparently. We'll see what happens. He might be very well cleared of any wrongdoing. And if so, I wish him well in his new career as a wrestler, because it sure beats being a shitbag on the fucking internet. Because that's all he's been up until this point, is a fucking massive shitbag. So if he can actually go and entertain people, and I'll go this, at least he's going to be earning an honest fucking living for us. He's going to be working fucking hard for his money. Good for you. Good for you. So thumbs up. It's an improvement from being a massive fucking douchebag on the internet, ruining a generation of children's way of thinking. Like, let's have a bit throw. What did this kid used to do? He used to live on a street that would fill up with fucking screaming fans annoying the shit out of all of his neighbors, burning stuff in the fucking pool. Or was it him or his brother that went over and were filming things in forests that they shouldn't have been filming? So massive shift up in the world, actually, now that you think about it. So good for him.
Yeah.
Because you were saying he looks like he can do some moves. He did a frog splash off the top rope onto an announcer's table. That's
pretty good. He was doing all kind of shit there. He was really good.
Did he sell it though, dude? Did he sell it?
Yeah, he sold shit.
Honestly, I look at you as a bit of a very knowledgeable person when it comes to wrestling. So when you watched him do that, he sold it, and you say yes. Well, I'm impressed then.
Yeah, even when the Miz would hit him and kick him, he looked like he was really in pain. He was doing a good job. He did a good job. So
that's sort of high praise coming from you, because I know that you'd call him. You got no problem calling him a shitbag for his past behaviour.
I never liked him. Yes,
I've got to be fair. If you're saying to me that you watched him in a match and he sold that shit, and that he's got the chops to be trained into a top tier professional, I'll fucking take your word for it, dude.
Yeah, even
I haven't seen the match.
That's true, Doodle. So even Jim Cornette was giving him praise, and Jim Cornette bitches about everybody. So yeah, I mean he really looked good. He was in there with the Miz, who has been in the business for 10, 15 years, and he looked better than the Miz. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he did a good job. So good on him for that, but it don't take away from being a shithead. But
well, let's give him a shot. This is a new chapter in his life, and if, like you said, he thinks he's found his true calling. Well, he is young, and I was a massive. I'm still a massive shitbag, so nothing's really changed. At least he's trying to improve himself, and to get into this sport is a very difficult thing. So the fact that they're letting him on stage in the first place means that he has got chops. You have to admit that.
Yeah, and especially now because Triple H just took over creative and everything, pretty much. Because Vince is gone, right? And Stephanie is the big boss. Triple H is over all creative. So and Triple H and they're going. Here's another thing. So they're turning. Raw is no longer going to be PG-13. It's going to be TV's 14, which is kind of edgy, and they can cuss now and do more stuff like they did back in the day. Because now, for the last 20 years, they've been fucking baby food, been pussyfied. Yeah. But now they're going back to edginess, and so I think Triple H is trying to make a big splash, and I honestly think that Logan's probably going to be a star, which he is going. I mean, and he looks like you see somebody that's fired up. He looks like he's fired up. He looks like he has found something he really likes. So maybe this is his calling or whatever, and maybe which I think he has done some growing up a little bit anyway over the last couple of years. Jake's still a dick, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know what? I think you are right. Out of the two, the most growth I've seen out of him is Logan. This kid who's just got the deal. And if Triple H can bring back I remember when our friends used to get together, and whoever had the cable satellite box, there would be a horde of people around there for wrestling night. And we'd sit around, and there'd be South Park, and then there'd be the wrestling. And we'd watch the fucking two, and we'd make a fucking night of it through the middle of the week. And it was the best night out. So,
other wrestling last night, then Ric Flair had his final match. Ric Flair's 70-something years old wrestling, but I didn't really watch the match because fucking like $200 worth of fucking pay-per-view. I ain't gonna do that. But anyways, it's crazy. But the one thing is cool from that, I've seen some clips. They went there to celebrate Rick. They were out in the audience. It was Undertaker, Mick Foley, Bret Hart was out in the front row. And after Rick's match, he walked over there and he was hugging him and stuff. And Mick Foley was actually crying.
Yeah, Mick Foley's my favorite fucking wrestler. It's like Cactus Jack, Mankind, Soccer, all of that shit. Yeah, and he's the dude that went off the top of the cage.
Yep.
and busted his lip. And there's this fucking infamous photo of you see him with his tongue hanging out. It's like you got to sort of look closely at that photo and have a look at the facial features and see what order it's going. It goes nose.
His tooth was in his nose.
It goes nose, top lip, bottom lip, then his tongue. And it's like, hold on. Shouldn't it be nose, top lip, tongue coming out of the mouth, then bottom lip? No, his tongue's coming out through the hole underneath his lip, and he's going, making it bleed profusely for a nice real, and someone's there and going, click, and it's just this brilliant photo of, and he looks absolutely detached from his own body, and he just looks like he's a 5-year-old at a party that says, want some cake? And someone's offering him the cake, and his eyes are lit up like a Christmas tree, and it's just like, oh damn, that's that
like
to
when
me
they
sums it up.
Thought, and like JR, the announcers was like, he's smiling, and the thing is, Mick, it does look like he's smiling, but Mick said he wasn't actually smiling, he was actually trying to push his tooth out with his tongue, and it made him look like he was smiling. Yeah,
so that's just the crazy part, and those dudes.
And by the way, I definitely recommend Mick Foley's podcast. It's called Foley's Pod. It is fucking awesome.
Yep. And if you've got little kids, get his books for your kids. Apparently, his kids' books are freaking awesome.
Oh, and by the way, one thing I wanted to say that because everybody on TikTok has been asking me to do this, and then you guys here on YouTube may not be interested in this, but if you are, you can get one. Your boy's about to be on. Damn it! What's the name of that shit? Where Cameo. I'm about to do some Cameo stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. A lot of people been wanting me to do the Cameo stuff because they want me to say the hot dog line and everything. And because, dude, I got like one of the. It was cool that they would see something go. You know, Memory Holiday, right? Jeff's wife.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, by the way, for the ones who don't know here, I told you about this earlier. Discovery Channel has used my sound on TikTok, my voice for one of their videos for a shark. And if anybody tags you, it pops up on TikTok. And Memory commented on the video. She said, something fucked the world or something. She said, it's so funny when you're just scrolling on TikTok and then come across and find one of your friends' voice on the Discovery Channel. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, and today, a kid behind the camera. I know most of you guys gotta know the kid, but from the Angry Grandpa stuff, and he's the one that he's the one that actually shot the video of me and Boogie rubbing bellies on each other years ago at VidCon.
Yep.
He's the one, and I got his name wrong today. I called him Jason. His name is Michael.
Shit. Speaking of Boogie.
Yeah.
Many moons ago, he said he would make an appearance on the Wood. We should hold him to that and get him on.
Yeah,
I would love to talk to him. I just want to do a game special. Yeah. All I want to do is talk about games. I don't want to touch on any of the fucking bullshit drama that people fucking throw in. I just want to talk to Boogie about games. I really do, because I've watched Boogie for years, Francis, and I just want to talk to him about how the games have evolved. Really do. Nothing, no drama, no fucking bullshit. Just hit him up. Get him on here.
Yeah, I like Boogie. He's all right, man.
He's cool. And he's a veteran of YouTube, dude. Like, people that have been in the game for a while, kind of like Matt and his redemption arc, which was completed recently. Again, tip of the hat, Matt. You own that shit. That was brilliant, dude.
Monday, Matt?
Yeah, like I watched. He hosted a show, and it was an absolute reversal of what happened to him years ago. And he basically got to sit there, and it was real. It was just great to watch because all of the chat agreed. I just saw it mentioned 150 million times. Redemption arc completed. It's like so.
Yeah, because I got that. I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. When we were talking about Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph, trying to make Matt look dumb, and everybody shit on Matt for a while because of that. But now Ethan Ralph, people look at Ethan like a fucking joke, dude. I mean, he is a fucking joke.
Yeah. Do you know what the latest thing is? That when people, it was so funny because Ethan Ralph, all he's done is just made fun of, put shit on people.
Yeah.
ridicule, but I'm no better than him. But
I'm better than him.
Here's the thing. Someone's honed in on the fact that he had a bit of a problem with similar issue to you. Now, I'll ask you this: if I made a joke and referenced your former hobby, and then I shook a bottle of pills so you could hear them shaking, would you? Yeah. Well, apparently that upset Ralph. So at the next stream, everyone's got their bottles of pills on standby, and they join in the chat and just start shaking the pills. And it's like all of these dudes go, got my pills, got my pills.
Well, you can't sell that shit though. Even if it bothers you, you can't sell it, man, because people, especially on the internet, people are gonna go after it.
Oh, dude! As soon as he mentioned it, the dog pile commenced. It was just incredible.
Yeah, and I don't like the dog. I don't like dog piling. I don't. But for a sack of shit like him, I don't really mind it that much.
Well,
but
it was a joke, and everyone's just in on this run and gag of shit. It wasn't like they were going around to his house and throwing rocks through his window. They were sitting on the internet going, and he's fucking losing it. And I thought that was incredibly funny.
Everybody knows about my hair. I mean, look, I talk about it. You know, I have. You know, I'm a recovering addict. I have a pill addiction. And I've made jokes about it. But that's what you gotta do, is be able to make jokes about this shit. Because if you take the shit too serious, man, it means
I'm preparing a prop right now.
Something's not right there in that situation, in my opinion. Because you can shake all the bottles you want, it doesn't bother me.
Let's put that to the test. Hey, Pimp. Oh yeah, I got some.
That would be. You know what? That would be OxyContin. No,
that was well played, boss. Well fucking played. These are actually mints. Believe it or not, this is a tin of mints from Tombstone, Arizona, and it says justice is coming, and hell is right behind.
But now I'll tell you what is bad. I'm gonna tell you what's bad. How bad I was. You could blindfold me and take two different pain pills, like an OxyContin or like let's say a Percocet. And give me, and I could, because I chewed my pills, right? And I could tell you which one was which by the taste. I knew the taste of the pills.
There you go, true professional.
I was bad. Well, you understand, I was so bad, dude. Like at one, and you know when I had that relapse a few years back, and you know when I went to South Carolina, and a lot of people, I had a relapse, and then that one trip. I took on a bus after that, or on the bus, I popped 10 fucking oxys on the bus at once. And that's when I passed out on the bus, and I missed my transfer because I was passed out on the bus.
Oh, dude, I do miss Sleep Monk from a few years ago.
I know because I was high on pills. That's like that night I passed out on stream. I didn't, I played it off. It was something I was just tired or whatever. I played that off, kratom. But it was like 5 or 6 fucking Percocets.
That night, I'm freaking out in the background trying to contact fucking everybody that could get to your house and shit. It's like, you ended up waking up and everything was fine. It was like,
I was fine. I just passed out. But
it still didn't look good because I thought you were going to take a header out of that chair every 15 seconds for about 2 hours.
Yeah, because I did that shit,
Yeah, you rocking your sleep like a madman, dude.
I do. And see, I sleep sitting up a lot, and I'll fall asleep in an Indian squat position and sleep there.
I'm weird. I cannot even sleep unless I'm dead flat. If I'm even angled at like 10 degrees past flat, it's like no sleep. Clown will eat me. So I am jealous of that. I've seen people who can fall asleep standing up. It's like, Jesus, you must live hard to be able to fall asleep standing up without being on anything. You must have worked a very hard, long day. So yeah. So I don't know if everyone else has seen that footage, but America, there's sometimes you see footage on why the Second Amendment's a good thing, and there was an attempted armed robbery at a corner shop today. Well, the owner of the store repelled the attempted robbery with bravado and a rather big rifle. And you'll see the footage. It's doing the rounds on YouTube. Dude cops one in the arm. The funny part of it was hearing him squeal. It blew my arm off. They blew my arm off. And he literally starts going, it's fucking funny. It's like, what did you think you were going to get? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, he survived. He's well and truly off. 3 of the people are now in prison. The 4th one's in hospital under armed guard. As soon as he's well enough to be transported to the local jail, they'll be headed off there because it's got them all on footage. And it's just, sadly, what you don't see is just after the footage cuts off is the 80-year-old shopkeeper has a fucking heart attack, but has been released from hospital the next day and is recuperating at home, luckily, and they will be giving an interview in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that one because, yeah, it's one of those cases where you sort of go, well, luckily that person was armed because they wouldn't have been able to do anything about the armed robbers otherwise, and there was a carload of dudes with guns out the front. But, yeah.
I see some that made me think of you over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. It was a model car collector.
Ooh.
On TikTok, and he had this one car. It was a night. It was a Firebird.
Yep.
And it was old, I don't know, 50, 60, something like that. That was such a beautiful model. It was such a beautiful model.
Well, funny you should mention that. Today when I went down to recycle some cans, I've been able to drive behind I think it was a late 60s Chevy Impala. And this thing, and I'm not kidding, it looked like it just drove off the showroom floor. White wall fucking tires, like the chrome glistened in the sunlight like it had just been fucking polished to like a fucking mirror. The paint was this beautiful metallic flake, so a metal flake, light blue, not quite the color of the sky, a little bit more washed out, but oh man, I don't know if you'd call it a Lake Placid blue, maybe. But holy fuck, this thing was in. It looked like it had just driven out of the showroom. Looked brand fucking new, and it was definitely a late '60s Impala.
Whoever owned that got some money. Let's say that.
Well, yeah, in Australia, it's a lot of blokes have worked out. You can buy a car from America. This is the beauty of America. What you guys sell on Craigslist for 5, 6, 10 grand is a fairly hotted up mid 20th century muscle car that's in pretty decent nick. Bring that out here and then convert it over to left-hand drive and then give it the chip foos treatment, nice coat of paint, redo the interior, sells hot. You're flogging these cars off 60, 70 grand. Like you spend 20 grand on them and a lot of money to be made.
Another thing I wanted to ask, because I seen this on TikTok the other day too, and I thought, I want to ask Red about this. I know you was a surfer at one point, and dude, some of those boards are fucking ridiculously expensive.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of. This was like I don't know what he said it was, but it was like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say it was like 10 or 12,000.
If it's a handmade thing and it's probably got carbon fiber all through it, probably run them that much. There's a process in making things out of carbon fiber. It's got to be fucking vacuum sealed, sanding it back. It's just, and it's not the cheapest shit to make, but even boards changed. When I was growing up, you used to get foam blanks from down at Currumbin and people would hand shape boards. Then computers came along and got really good, and all of a sudden you got these machines that can just go bzzz, and you can shape the perfect board and it will just spit out copy after copy, or you just design it in CAD so it's symmetrically perfect, hit print, and these things just start shaping the blanks down. And those boards are nowhere near as expensive as what you're saying, but these, I'm having a guess. I haven't seen boards lately, but I'm guessing that'd be totally carbon. So it'd be ultra light, ultra strong.
Board. This was very, very pretty. I mean, you could you don't have to know things to know something costs money, right? It's like you could tell, okay, that's probably a top one because it looked like pearl in a way, kind of it was white, but it had you seen what is it called with granulin or whatever it's called. Granulin. It looked purple, like cracked purple.
Okay.
It was fucking beautiful board. It was beautiful.
You got it? Can you bring the video up and show us?
No, dude, that was like last week when I seen that shit. I couldn't find that video for nothing in the world. I'll look for it and maybe have it for you Thursday. How about that?
Yeah, dude. That'd be kind of cool. Mate, that's what we should start doing is if you find cool stuff on TikTok, bookmark that shit and we'll give it a watch on the show.
Yeah.
Give some of your TikTokers a bit of a shout out. Do some cross platforming.
Yeah, that's what we need to start doing. Try to build some shit up. But anyways, we're gonna probably go about 10 more minutes than needed.
No worries, boss.
You're boring the fuck out of me, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know, I want to go and play Grand Theft Auto.
But Thursday we're gonna be here Thursday, and I'll have some guests.
Actual human beings on that have interesting conversations.
California and Illinois declare state of emergencies over monkeypox outbreak.
Yep, I think New York just did, and California.
I know Mississippi's having some cases too. A lot of cases. God damn. Now I gotta worry about fucking monkeypox right now.
Oh, you know. What can you do except stay at home, stop talking to people, become a recluse?
I know now I'm famous. I can't even go out and enjoy it.
I know.
No, I'm not famous. But a lot of people, treat me like a hero on TikTok. It is pretty cool, though, to know that, like, millions of fucking people are seeing that one fucking video of mine. It's crazy.
It is.
But it's like, dude, it's fucking nuts, man. You ought to see all the people that's using my voice. So it's like crazy. It's crazy, man, crazy. But yeah, the monkeypox thing. I need to really do some studying about monkeypox. I don't know how bad it is. Like how the actual sickness.
From what I understand, it's not. The mortality rate's not very high. There are a couple of different types, and I think the one that's doing the rounds isn't the one that's got the higher mortality rate.
The most dangerous.
I haven't really been paying attention to it. Every time it's been mentioned on our local news, I've sort of.
Well, I think a lot of people are kind of ignoring it because they're so sick of the virus stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good. But I know myself. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of like, goddamn, another thing about COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's only human to be like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but we had Landon on one night, and we were talking about. Landon and I had a look at how long pandemics have lasted throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
Short ones are a year or so. Longer ones. This is a number I don't like reminding people of. 7 years. We're in year 3 of COVID, so we potentially still have 4 more years of this shit.
And I think I think it's gonna be there because people are acting like it's over and it's not even close to being over.
There's a massive resurgence in Australia with the Omicron variant, not killing as many people, but it's still hospitalizing a fuck ton of people. Because most of the people ending up in hospital haven't had a third dose. I'm waiting to get. I think I've got to wait until our version of the Pharmaceutical Goods Administration or whatever.
Well, I think I need to go get a
drug admin FDA.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for I'm not sure if I'm available to get the third shot yet. I've had, all the other.
Oh, you're good for a third, dude. If you haven't had a third, go and get it. Seriously, go and get it then. Or as soon as you finish here, ring your doctors, get it organised for you and your mum.
I can't read a doctor fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. First thing in the morning, organise your boosters. I'm waiting. They've authorised plus 50s in Australia because I'm 49. I don't quite reach the mark yet. So I'm just waiting until I get the text from the health department saying you can book your 4th booster, and I'll go straight down there because, it's better to get one than not get one. Hopefully it'll keep me to a point where I'm either asymptomatic or I don't end up taking up a hospital bed. And I've dodged it so far. I'm like, I don't think I've contracted it yet, or if I did, I was asymptomatic and I didn't even know it.
Same here. I mean, same here. I've not got, it's. But now I will say this: I've took extra precautions, right? I've really, I don't go around a lot of people. I don't go. I mean, I don't do things. The same. Everybody was trying to get me to go to VidCon, and I'm like, no. And then guess what happened? It was a fucking massive outbreak of fucking COVID at VidCon. Everybody got sick, even Ben.
Holy fuck. Sorry just to interrupt, but this is just coming on the news. A 200-meter deep sinkhole has appeared near a mine in Chile. You should see this fucking hole in the ground. They've flown a drone over it. And it just... You ever seen the movie Dune?
Mm-hmm.
You seen them big fucking worms?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like a big fucking worm popped its head up and went back down on the ground. This thing is fucking massive. 25 meters wide, 200 meters deep. We haven't detected any material down there. We can see a lot of water. Oh, shit. And it's near a copper mine. So they've undermined some groundwater and it's just started doing some nasty stuff. Well, it's weird how they're all nearly perfectly around these sinkholes. That's just strange. Anyway.
Shut up, Crow, you fucking bitch.
Oh, now he turns up.
Yeah, I've invited your ass earlier.
Crap.
But now we're about to end the show here in just a few. I just noticed on Twitter that people are bitching about Kevin Costner. Because
they tried to cancel PewDiePie again, apparently. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I noticed, and that, talking about Boogie earlier, but Boogie was bitching about PewDiePie today,
it was some chick was doing a video. She had really long nails, right?
Yeah.
PewDiePie didn't recognize that she was doing...
She was deaf.
Yeah, PewDiePie didn't recognize that she was using fucking sign language. And when you look at the chick's claws, it's kind of easy to... And when I say claws, I just mean really large nails. And there's anything wrong with that. It's just really large. And I sort of understand. And he got his dog and started going, mee, 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 and talked about his dog was taking a poop out in the backyard. He was making fun of the nails. He wasn't making fun of the lady or a race.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't understand. Okay, even if he was making fun of her being deaf, it has nothing to do with her being black.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing to do with her being black.
All right. I watched a video on Ackman's channel, and basically he put it wonderfully. He said, Twitter is just a massive goddamn festival of cognitive dissonance. It's just like, I reject your reality and substitute it with my own. And
that's what they do.
Yeah, that's why Twitter was abandoned by me for the 5th time recently, and I've just left that last account adrift in the space of Twitter. It's like, yeah, Elon, that's not a bot. That's just one of my old soccer accounts. And I hope Elon is forced to buy Twitter, because then we can demonstrate how he's absolutely full of shit and is not interested in free speech whatsoever. Because I've just done a little bit of...
Yeah, he's
Elon's stance on free speech. One of his staff members was trying to unionize other staff members. So he fired that person. That person has just basically been rehired and compensated after a fucking court said you wrongfully dismissed that person and you've been trying to silence them and their right to free speech about union moves. So Elon's not interested in free speech whatsoever. He's full of shit.
And that whole to buy Twitter thing was a publicity fucking stuff.
And it's backfired because he didn't read the contract before he signed it, apparently, because it said, you're buying this son of a bitch unless you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that we've bullshitted. And he can't prove that they bullshitted him about the bots. He can't. And even if he wants to walk away, he's still got to shell out. I think there's a fee of $1 billion or some shit. He's pissed off a lot of people. Tesla shares went, it's great.
Yeah, it was a shit move. I don't know.
Yeah, every time he tweets and spurgs out, the share market goes. It's like, can we just stop him from doing that, because everyone's getting sick of his shit? So the shareholders from Tesla and Twitter are suing him. Everyone's suing him at this point. It's fucking great. The house of cards is starting to crumble.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Well, I guess me and Red's gonna end this here, and he's got to go watch some porn.
What? No, I'm gonna tell kids to get off my goddamn lawn.
Get off my lawn. And I'm gonna go TikToking. I'm gonna go make some money.
Why not? Why the fuck, dude? Look, here's the thing. TikTok are giving you that sexy growth that YouTube just went, you know what? We're just going to arbitrarily put you on a goddamn shadow ban list. That growth that you've been experiencing from 2,000 people up to 17,000, we stop it now. Yeah. And that was that. And then you just started going and slowly bleeding out. Exactly I was there and I watched it all, dude. Yeah. And I will testify to that.
I mean, and nobody can deny how red hot I was for a minute on YouTube. I mean, I was growing so fucking fast.
Yeah. You had Jacqueline Glenn and VPs help really amplify you, and a whole bunch of new eyes got put on you. And then you were doing the Pimpmunk show, which was getting a lot of you. You were getting fucking 300-400 views on real good shows that we could see on the YouTube counter. That doesn't count the fact that the counter was broken. Mm-hmm. But look, TikTok, they're helping you out, and until YouTube sort of jettison a certain Auntie Susie, it's just going to be more of the same. So get to TikTok and earn some cash, bro. Put some dinner on the table.
Put some dinner in your ass. All right, it's time to go. Thank you for watching Drunken Crows Cut. And we love you guys. We'll see you Thursday.
Poop on a stick.
Stick in some poop.
Whoa.
Red Eye likes Shanty for Christ.